Welcome everyone to the topic of leadership. We will be talking about leadership in brief to make you understand what separates followers from leaders and what makes a person capable to lead others in places. So, basic things is if you can encourage a person to go beyond his or her capabilities, if he or she can demonstrate qualities that were not imagined of him or her, is what makes you a leader. Remember, it is you and the other person. If you can exceed the follower, make the follower work according to your requirements and beyond their capacities, that is what makes you a leader. It is if your action, remember, if your action inspires others to dream more, perhaps learn more, perhaps even do more and become more, then you are nothing but a leader in place. A lot of leaders photographs that has been presented right from Nelson Mandela, Barack Obama. If you know it, there are n numbers of leaders. Remember, what have they done? They have done changes. They have brought changes in the life of the others. And remember, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones. It is you, it is me, it is every one of us. We are the ones we have been waiting for because that is what we are, the change that we seek. So basically, what we'll be talking about in today's videos is how leadership is related to practice, how leadership is related to the value sets, skills, and behaviors, and their focus areas, perhaps. So, yes, this is what we will be talking in today's video. So leadership is nothing but a transactional process. Remember the statement that I started with this particular video is me and you and your follower, leader and a follower. It is when the leader makes the follower go beyond his or her capacities and perform well. That is what makes him or her the good leader. Remember, so it's a transactional process. A leader affects and gets affected by the followers. Leadership is mostly transitional, momentarily, at a point of time within a team. Leadership moves around the team dependent on the stage of the process. Leadership influences in a group with a common purpose. Remember, without influences there is no followers. Without influences, leadership ceases to exist. Leadership involves attaining goals and directing a group of individuals to achieve the goal. Remember the goal that has been determined, that has been evolved, that has been decided upon. So, yes, it is a multifactorial and distinct from management. That is what leadership is all about. It. Let us understand the shared relationship. It is all starts with self leadership. It is all about being confident of what you are proposing. It is all about being passionate about what you are doing around it. So shared leadership is an interactive, dynamic influencing process among individuals within a group. Leadership is not restricted to those who are designated to a manager role or a leadership role, if I may say so. So acts of leadership can come from any individual in an organization as appropriate at different times. So everybody can go around and take leadership position as on when the situation demand for it. I'll give you an example shortly. Emphasizes on teamwork and collaboration. Objective is to lead one another to achieve the overall goals of the group. That is what we are looking about. It is no longer to be vested into a one particular person, but leadership can be shared, leadership can be transferred, leadership can be momentarily. Leadership depends on the situation. This is what we call the collective shared responsibility of success of an organization and its services. So, yes, leadership is a process whereby an individual, remember, an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve the requisite goals per se. Did I say leadership has been transferred or should be situational or momentarily when people take it about here? Here is my team of Manchester United. It is all, there are not a single leader out here because everyone is a leader as on one when the situation demands. Look at the goalkeeping position. The goalkeeper becomes a leader when it is between the penalty kick which has been taken by the opponent team, or when there's a defendant becomes a leader when the opponent team is making an attack or perhaps forcing a goal onto them, or the attacker or the person who is leaning from the front goes and makes a goal or tries to attempt for a goal becomes a leader, because every one of them, irrespective of the position where they play from, be the goalkeeper, be the defender, be the attacker, be the left winger or a right winger, everybody takes the leadership position. And why do they take the leadership position? Because the common goal is to win the game, which is a team game altogether. So yes, leadership is shared. So what is a leadership problem? There are many examples of poor practices and system failure within which there's a lack of leadership. Let's say at an individual level, collective level, or even at the system level, leadership can fail at individual, system, and collective level, and it has to be identified as an important factor. For example, we have seen that after sales service has been delivered may not be optimal, and that the system itself has been built over many years. It may not be designed to meet with the customer demands. With the advent of economic policies, with the advent of changes in the financial system, there are other challenges which becomes more or less eminent. It becomes imperative that the frontline staff have to have the leadership knowledge, skills, leadership behaviors to drive the radical service redesign and improvement. When I say so in the corporate world, it is the frontline staff. When I say about frontline staff, the staff which are interacting with the direct customer, the end customer, they should be empowered to take certain decision depending upon the situation, about the interactions between the customers and the company. So this is what the leadership problem is all about. It the frontlines customers should demonstrate leadership knowledge, skills, behaviors. They should be empowered to do it. Otherwise, the image, the brand name of the company might suffer. So, do you think am I the leader? Do you think who is the leader? Is it only the managers? Is it only the leadership position? Customers and the family expect companies to use their knowledge, their experience to contribute to an effective, efficient provisions of their product and services, or probably have impeccable experiences with the interaction of the company. That is what customers are looking for, the wow impact. Leadership is not restricted to the people who designate the managership positions or the leadership position. Acts of leadership can come from everyone. Remember the example of Manchester United, because I strongly believe every one of us is a leader. Every one of us who is leading a life with dignity and who is making progress, advancement in his or her life is definitely making some good moves as far as leadership qualities are concerned. So, allow me to give you the leadership of the frontline staff and what are they all about it. When we are talking about a high quality service, when we are talking about a wow impact upon the customers from the company's end, it is all about personal qualities. The individual who is holding the position, demonstrating personal qualities. I will demonstrate every one of those personal qualities and try to work it out with you. Working with others, managing services, improving services, setting directions, and that is what delivering services is all about it. The competency framework, there are individually one, two, three, four, five domains of leadership behaviors. The elements are manageable component, which are subset in each of domains, which I'll be talking in the subsequent slide. The competencies four statement which describe the leadership behavior underpinning each element per se. Let me go with the first domain, about personal qualities. Remember, this is all about self-awareness about what you are empowered to do. If the frontline service person is aware of what you are empowered to do, what can you do, and what goes beyond your capabilities or beyond the domain which has been mandated by the company, go ahead, well, let it know. In case if you think things are beyond your capacities or beyond your profile, job profile, if I'm saying so, escalate the issues with the management. So you need to be aware of it, self-awareness. You should be able to manage yourself, continuing personality development as on when on basis, because that will make you eligible for the next best promotion that comes around it. Acting with integrity, as the case might be. So domain elements, we'll talk about everything of acting with integrities and so on and so forth. Effective leadership require individuals to draw upon their values, their strength, their abilities, and delivering high qualities. To do so, they must demonstrate effectively as acting with integrity of being open, being transparent, being honest, being factual, present the situation as on when on basis. Continuing professional development by learning through participating, and continuing professional development. Every moment is a learning moment, every day is a learning day. You know, in today's world, you need to keep on upgrading yourself. Look, the world is becoming dynamic, it is changing with every passage of days and years and months to come. You have to keep abreast with the situation or you'll lag behind. Then is all about your managing yourself by what? By time management. Managing yourself by what? By qualities. Managing yourself by what? By knowledge. You need to understand the needs and priorities of the others, and based upon it, you should embark upon the journey of managing and upgrading yourself. Developing self awareness is being aware of your own values, principles, assumption, and being able to learn from the experiences as what is actually happening. Let us talk about the second domain. It is all about working with others. Working with others is we are talking about developing networks, building and maintaining relationships, encouraging contributions, and within each team members is what we are talking about there. The four subdomains are developing networks, building relationships, encouraging contributions, and working with teams per se. Now, what are my elements? Let me go around it. And how do you develop network? By working in a partnership with probably any of your customers, with carers, with service users, anything. It just need not be the salesperson. It can be the service engineer. It need not be the service engineer. It can be the supply and chain, uh, the supply and chain person who is delivering the issues, the product, the services to you. Everyone across the system, because everyone plays an important role in improving the services and improving the experience of the customer. Then is all about building and maintaining relationships by listening, by supporting of others, gaining trust, and probably acknowledging the customers as a unique individual per se, showing understanding, empathy, encouraging contributions by creating an environment where others have the opportunity to contribute, working with teams to deliver and improve the services thereby. And this is what is the domain. Second domain is all about it. Now we'll move to the third domain of managing services. Remember, managing services is all about planning your resources. How do you manage your resources? It can be a material, it can be a men, people, it can be a performances, as the case might be. This is what managing services is all about. It. The elements, let us understand planning. Planning is to have a proper teamwork, as in what team, which member of the team is going to which position at what point of time, which customers are going to be addressed and serviced by them. You should be properly documented and people should be aware of it. This is exclusively to the planning point of course due courses, because if you plan good things are going to happen. In fact, great things will happen. It all depends on planning. If planned well, 50 to 60% of the work is actually done during the planning phases. Execution becomes much more easier and a cakewalk. Next is all about managing resources. By knowing what resources are available, you need to understand the availability of the resources and ensure that the resources are effectively used and reflects the requirement of the situation, the customers, and the company, the diversity of the needs that the resources should be satisfying. Then comes the managing people by providing direction, by reviewing performance, by coaching, by motivating, by promoting equality and diversity. It is basically encouraging trust of the employees in for your company. Last but not the least is managing performances, as in holding accountable for every of the service outcome, and in fact stressing about the fact that you should incrementally use and improve your performances every time that it encounter the same work that goes around it. The people should be made accountable about their job. The fourth domain is all about improving services. Improving services might be ensuring customer safeties, critically evaluating, encouraging improvement and innovations, facilitating transformation processes. I again repeat, your customer safety, your critically evaluating, encouraging and innovations, and facilitating transformation per se. What about your customer safety or the patient safety, if I may say so? If it is a hospital, it can be a patient. If it is a nursing home, it can be a patient. If it is a hotel, it can be your customer, your guest. If it is a club, it can be your members. We are talking about it. So, by assessing and managing the risk of the patient or your customers associated with the service development, balancing economic consideration with the need of the patient safety critically by being able to think analytically and conceptually and to identify where services can be improved, worked individually or as a part of a team. Encourage improvement and innovation by creating a climate of continuous service improvement, facilitating transformation by actively contributing to the change process that leads to an improved healthcare. That is what is very important. The last domain is all about setting the direction, rolling the ball in the requisite direction. We are talking about the context for changes, identifying them. We need to talk about the knowledge and technology and applying those knowledge and technologies to gain meaningful evidences, meaningful senses, making decisions, and evaluating the impact thereby. So, identifying the context for change by being aware of the range of factors that comes and happens during the courses of interaction between you as a company and the customers of the company. Applying the knowledge and evidences by gathering information to produce an evidence-based challenge to system and process in order to identify opportunities for service improvement. Making decision using their values and the evidences to make good decision, evaluating impact by measuring and evaluating outcomes, taking corrective actions where necessary, and by being held accountable for their decisions as on when on basis. Stages of leadership development. There are four stages: one, two, three, four. When we're talking about stage one, we're talking about your own team, your immediate team members, you yourself. The stage two is where we're talking about the whole company, the cross teams, multifunctional companies, multifunctional team departments. Stage three is the whole organizations per se. And the fourth stage is the complete ecosystem of that particular industry. If we are talking about hospital industry, it can be a healthcare system, the whole domain of the industry. If again I repeat, the hotel industry can be hospitality industry. If you're talking about the financial system industries, we are not talking about it. When people might say, why financial system? Yes, because they are also managing capital of their customers, and every customers would have different risk profile and different requirement. So this can only be achieved by none other than people from all backgrounds, from different backgrounds. They can work together, come together, and perform together. Never, please, I again repeat the word never. Usually, I don't start a sentence with a negative term, but never doubt. That small group of thoughtfully concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that has ever done it. It is the only smallest of the issues which has led to the bigger revolutions across the globe. So changes will not come if we wait for some other person or probably for some other time. We are the ones who have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video on leadership.